Hey, superstars, welcome back to the Soul Stopper podcast. My name's Nicole. I'm your host and fellow adventurer on this journey. And gosh, is it a journey, especially when you're tired? I'm here with a good friend and amazing trainer, Miss Strong Girl Mar. And I'm so excited to have this conversation because today we're both super tired. And what are we doing? Showing up anyways, showing up anyways. So I'm really happy to have this conversation because she's someone I actively look up to, someone that I resonate with fully, and someone that has dedicated their life towards helping other people grow in the ways that they think aren't possible by themselves. So, Mara, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. It's an honor to talk to you and I'm excited to dive in. The first thing I want us to talk about is your most recent Instagram post, and you were talking about a quote that your mom says in Portuguese. I'm gonna like butcher it, but please say it. So and then dive in because you were saying something along the lines of "Don't suffer prematurely." So tell us what your mom would always tell you.
Hi guys, Nicole, thank you so much for that beautiful spiel. Thank you for having me. My mom would say to me, pare de sofrer com antecedência. Stop suffering prematurely. And I'm sure it was related to like anything that was happening in my life, any worries that I was, well, what if this happens? What if this goes wrong? Um, what if I fail? Whatever. And she would tell me that. And I remembered that she would say that to me, and I connected it to being in a fat loss phase. And the reason why I connected it to that was because there's this one influencer, and she's a bodybuilding coach, and she is always spitting facts. Like everything she says is Bible. I know everyone has at least one person they follow on the internet that you can just listen to them talk for hours. Like that's who she is for me. And on the internet, you'll hear all the time well meaning people say, well, when you're in a cut, your strength will decrease. Or when you're in a cut, if you eat this many calories, it's too low for you. And I think those rules apply. There are great blank statements, especially for general population. Women who have struggled with restrictive eating for most of their life, it's probably good for them to hear, hey, maybe you should eat more so that you're stronger. But for those of us that we've been doing this for a while and we have more specific physique goals that we're chasing, we've already dealt with all of the like body image bullshit. We've already dealt with all this like I hate myself. We're not dealing with that anymore. We're talking about this like separate level of like athletic desire and capability. Like the bar that we're trying to reach is a little different. I wouldn't say it's higher because everyone's bar is so
Well,
different.
you're saying it's a higher level for yourself. It's a higher standard.
Yeah. And so I would find myself suffering prematurely and crashing out before I even tried on a certain number of calories for size. So, for example, in my case, I am currently eating 1,400 calories. For those of you listening, this is not your calories. This is my calories. This isn't even Nicole's calories. I know Nicole's calories are different. But for me, it was my first time eating my calories that low. I hired a bodybuilding coach. And I remember Kenzie Vance, the Instagrammer, circling back, that I look up to, she had talked about it. She was like, y'all are always asking me, how do I do it? How do I eat with my calories so low? Especially because she has a bodybuilding boyfriend and he can eat so much more than her. And she was like, y'all don't understand. He has nothing to do with me, number one. And number two, she's like, I just gaslight myself and I keep telling myself, I've done worse. She's like, it could be
Right.
worse. Point is, I circled around a lot. The point is, sometimes we'll take like a generalization and we'll suffer prematurely, but I've been eating at 1,400 and it's been fine. And sometimes in the past, when my relationship to food wasn't as good, I wasn't as wise, I would drop my calories by like 200 calories and I would convince myself that I was in the desert, in a drought, in a famine. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And how is that possible that back then 2,100 calories for me felt like I was famished, versus now I'm eating a cool 1400, and I don't know, I'm carrying it well, and I'm carrying
Good.
it with a grace and a maturity.
That's awesome. And I think that that's such a testimony to people who are also going through this. I know for me, being in a deficit for about a year now has been its ups and downs. But I always like to think of it similar to when we are working out, and they always say like mind to muscle, right? So I try to think like mind to stomach sometimes, that like,
Wow.
yeah. So if you shift your mindset from like, I'm in the trenches, this sucks, I hate everything, from this complaining, you're kind of inviting that energy into you, and your body's going to respond to that. But if you say, I am nourished, I am fueling my body for what it needs, and allowing myself to rise to the standard that I'm now holding myself at, then you become more, I guess I'm not going to say
Grounded.
susceptible, grounded, right? You're grounded in your goals. And that's why it's really important. And I'm sure you do this with your clients, like figuring out their why. Because someone can say, like, oh, I want to be healthy, but why? Like, oh, I want to look good, but why? Are you competing? Do you model? Are you doing this? Do you want to be stronger for your family? Do you want to be able to like climb a mountaintop? Your why is what grounds you. So I definitely love that you're taking more of the shift into like helping people with their mindset, because again, it plays such a big role into our performance. And I'm wondering, like, you're saying how you used to think that you were famished, right? Think about times that we used to think that we couldn't hit a PR, or we couldn't do a certain workout. Like, I remember being like, you're never going to get me to do a Bulgarian split squat. Like, you're never going to get me to do a hip thrust. But I realized that it wasn't the hip thrust, it wasn't the Bulgarian split squats, it wasn't the workout in itself. It's how I was thinking about them, how I was doing them. And training with you actually allowed me to see how much more I was capable of. And that's why I just admire trainers in general so much, because you guys help people push their limits, and you don't let anyone settle, which comes back to full circle. You also don't let yourself settle, because you are the example. So, how does that feel like to kind of be held to that standard? I mean, do you think that it helps you?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Sometimes all it takes is one person telling you that you can do it. Let me explain. My coach, I told him when he put me in this fat loss phase, he says, "Hey, we're going to be a little aggressive out the gate." And I don't know, he said it with this confidence and just this trust and this like belief of like, yeah, of course we're going to do it this way. And I remember looking at him and I was like, I've never started that hard and fast, that aggressive. And he just kind of, and I don't know, like it, I think his leadership and his just innate belief, it like vibrates and it emits to me. He said,
100%.
well, Marina, you have a little bit more body fat on your frame, so you're good. You have enough energy. You'll be fine. Like him telling me that I'm going to be fine makes me go like, yeah, I'm going to be fine. Whereas maybe if he had came to me and he was like, hey, it's actually going to be really hard, buckle down, I think that it wouldn't have, you know what I mean? But he
Yeah.
didn't do that. He said, hey, we're going to do this thing. You ready? And then when he dropped my calories the second time, he said, okay, I'm going to drop it again. Like, it wasn't like, okay, we're going to drop it again. Let's see how you do. It was like, all right, we're going to drop it again. Go ahead and start eating at 1400. Let's see how you do. Keep me looped in on how you manage, how your hunger is, this and that. So it's like, he's still letting me check in and give him how I'm feeling. And I'm sure if I told him, hey, this is too aggressive for me, he would back out, but he's not going to plant a seed of doubt in me. You know what I mean? It
That
huge. That's huge. And I just like unlocked that the other day. I was talking about it on my story. I was like, I think some like when I first started as a coach, sometimes I had a hard time selling the reverse diet. For those of you listening and you don't know what that is, the reverse diet is really hard for people to buy into because I'm telling you that you can look better while eating more. And I realized the reason why my clients weren't buying into it is because I didn't know how to convey it to them with a confidence and a trust that I know it's going to work. I didn't know that at the time. But now with so much experience, so much proof under my belt, so many client transformations, so many before and afters, it's almost like I can be more succinct because I don't need to over explain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the leader that you can trust, and we're going to go far together because I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself? Are you down for the ride? It's lit.
Yeah, it's
I love
lit.
it. To answer your
No,
question, I love being a coach.
I love that. And honestly, it resonates with me too because I remember my coach, I mean, when he was like, "Hey, we're doing a 4-week shred. Like, are you ready?" Same thing. And I was like, "Am I?" He's like, "Fuck yeah, you are." Like he's like, "You're going to do this." And I kept on saying like, "I want abs by April. I want abs by." I had this like affirmation that I got abs by March, bitch. Like I was so
King
happy.
and queen.
Yes. And so I think that I completely understand, but something that we have to remember also, and I do want to bring it back to like your soul and like your heart really quick, because like it's not about what you look. I think so many people get confused. It's about what you can do and pushing yourself to this level of like discipline and vibrance and health that nobody can take that away from you. I mean, that's why people go to school. Like nobody can take your education away from you, but nobody can take your discipline and your like indestructible mindset away from you either.
This is my favorite topic. The best bodybuilders who last the longest in the sport are the best in here. They have they care the least about how they look. Let that sink in. The
Mm.
bodybuilders who last the longest in the sport care the least about how they look. Because they're so detached from how they look, when they do the bodybuilding part of bodybuilding, which is spending 70% of the time in a surplus, being large and in charge, being a higher percentage of body fat, they can do that and they don't cry about it. And so they can spend a longer time building. So when it comes time to shred, they can. And because they're so detached from how they look, they don't obsess about food. They don't, you know what I mean? It's like they can get to work harder and faster than those of us that are, oh my God, how do I look? Oh my God, the scale didn't go down this week. Oh my God, you know what I mean? And we're like being neurotic and like hyper vigilant, and it's stressing our bodies out. So our body isn't responding. And then subconsciously we're acting in ways that are making it so our body doesn't respond how we want it to respond. And then we're like pulling our hair out because we're like, why is nothing working for me? Because you need to let go. You
You
need
need
to
to
do the
let
work
go
and
and
let go
surrender.
and
Like literally
trust.
surrender, like fuck your mood, follow the plan. Like I love when I see that on Layla Hermosi stuff and Alex Hermosi, like
I haven't
their
seen them
whole
in
thing.
forever.
I think they
Are they
like
still kicking?
they are, but like something they're doing like a rebrand shift or something. I feel it. But I always think of this when and I love how you said that about the best bodybuilders, like don't care how bad they look. Like, yes, obviously they have a goal, but something I talked to with the mental performance coach, he was saying that when he talks to clients, because he trains bodybuilders, but on the mental front. So he helps, like, he's not a trainer. He doesn't like give them their macros or their training things. He literally helps them with their mental because he trains like fighter pilots all the time to like not freak out in the sky. So he's pretty,
A big
qualified
deal.
like to do that. And he was telling me that he helps them get into this mindset that when you're stepping on the scale, that is a data point. That is not a definition of you. That is not a definition of your discipline. That's not a definition of your work. That is a data entry point for where are we at right now. And that has nothing to do with your worth. So every time I step on the scale, I'm like, this is data. We're collecting data. This is not me. And sometimes I'll text my coach and I'm like, scale's going up, I'm feeling a little funky. He's like, hit your macros, you're gonna be good, you're an all-star. Like, that's it, there's no
And
questions about
sometimes
it.
that's all we need.
That's all. I think that's what we're
Girl.
looking for. Like, am
Yeah,
I
just
still good?
yeah,
Like,
you're doing fine. Just that
yes.
reassurance. Um, Historically, when I didn't know any better, I wouldn't create the space for my client to sit in that discomfort. And I would immediately try to correct and be like, no, why are you thinking that way? Don't think that way about yourself. That's such a bad way to think about yourself, you know? But it's like, no, like really what they're looking for is, oh, girl, I know that feeling. Don't worry. It's just a feeling. It'll pass. Keep doing what you're doing. Move forward. The next
Yeah.
day they wake up and they think their ass is fat and their waist is deleted. Like, it's so funny how our mind would just play tricks on us like that.
It's true. Well, that's why they say you have to be the TSA agent of your mind. Like, what's your business here? Passport? Like, hello, where are you going? Like, what's your intentions for traveling, you know?
I like
And
that. I've never
yeah.
heard that.
Oh, I read it in this book. It's called I Declare War, and it basically talks about declaring war on the version of yourself you don't want to be, because you
Yeah.
have to fight that. It's a mental, spiritual, physical journey to walk through, whether you have, your physical goals or your career or school or relationships. You have to decide who you want to be and stick to that. And I think that
Love that. Do you know, that reminds me, do you know anything about the emotions and how they sit on a chart and they're like energetic frequencies?
talk to me.
Supposedly, obviously, like, what is it called? Nirvana or whatever. No, the highest frequency is like complete relinquishing of all control. You've like transcended. The lowest
Buddha
frequency
shit.
is, yes, the lowest frequency is shame. That's huge. So many
Mm.
of us are like literally living life and operating out of shame. And the frequency in the middle is fear. Or it's not in the middle, it's a little bit lower than the middle. But the idea is that fear is more, or not fear, my bad, anger. Anger is more energizing than fear, than shame, than guilt, than hopelessness. And sometimes I'll tell clients, get angry. Sometimes the best client is the one that comes from a breakup where she got fucked over, because that anger is so energizing and it helps get you out of that shame, that guilt, that fear, that hopelessness. And then it energizes you into higher frequency waves like hope and happiness and
Badassery.
joy and fun and whatever, trust, whatever the higher
Mhm.
frequencies are.
You know, I love that because that's how I started.
Get
Hello.
angry, literally,
Get
like
angry in a
get
good way,
angry.
controlled, like a controlled anger. And then once you're out, you're good. But that's your release system that make that fuel into your fire type beat.
Like
Yeah.
you know how there's a lot of stuff going around right now on TikTok and Instagram about how like women who don't express anger are like getting disease, getting cancer or whatever.
Ooh.
It's like so many of us like suppress that anger, but there's something so beautiful about saying like, dude, fuck, like I refuse to be the reason why I don't fulfill what I'm capable of fulfilling. And that reminds me, circling back to what you were saying about how working towards a physique goal, it doesn't have to be about hating yourself.
Not at all.
It can be about just like having, literally, it can be fun. I was talking about this on my TikTok. I'm like, in case y'all forgot, having a physique goal is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be that serious. We are literally so privileged that we can sculpt our bodies using food and exercise. Like, what are you talking about? You have that much free time? You don't need to go rummage for berries. You don't need to go scavenger for
You can
antelope.
you can go to the store and get some chicken breast and shut the fuck up and get things
Yeah.
done.
And you can get pre-made chicken breast too from Trader Joe's and Whole
Hell
Foods and
yeah. And
Publix.
and the steak. Oh my god, I love me the grass-fed sirloin. You tried that before?
I haven't pre-made
High protein, low fat. I'll send it to
at
you.
TJ's.
Yes.
Pre-made?
Yes,
Fuck
and
it
it's already
up.
cooked.
I'm looking
Like,
into that.
it's so good. I get like 2 of those a week, and I get chicken breasts, and that's my meal preps. I love me some potatoes and, like, rice. It's very simple, my diet's so simple, but sometimes I do get the, like, cravings.
Yeah.
But I've been doing, like, shaved carrots and, like, sesame oil.
I
It's
had
been
carrots today. Oh, that sounds really good actually.
it's so good. I do
Sesame oil is can
mhm,
get it.
it can get it.
I will have
Sponsored
sex
by
with
s
sesame oil. It's so good.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. I might look into that.
Little body oil
Oh,
situation.
it's a savory, sexy time.
Yeah. Wait, I don't want to kink
Um,
shame. Sorry guys. I don't want to kink shame.
But I really appreciate both of us showing up, even though we didn't, not that we didn't want to, but like we really didn't have it in us to. And I just hope that this serves as a testament to anybody that's like, I don't want to go to the gym today, or I don't want to do this today. All you have to do is show up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can show up for 30 minutes, you can show up for 5 minutes. You're going to feel so much better when you just step your foot into the place you don't want to be for a second,
Mm-hmm.
and just be grateful. Like you said, it's a privilege to
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to be healthy enough to be active, to even afford a gym membership. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people struggling, I think, in the US right now with their jobs. People are being laid off. People are not having a, like, not able to get food. And if you are in the position to do all of those things, that in itself, you have also the responsibility to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it for yourself, do it for your future family, like
Mm-hmm.
do it to
That.
inspire a person on the internet. Like, I can't tell you how many people are like starting to do pull-ups because I used to post like daily pull-up videos. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me so happy. And that's why I do what I do, is because I want people to feel like they can choose, and you have the freedom to make what you want happen a reality.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm really happy that you do the same, because I mean, your transformation was beautiful and amazing, and I didn't even get to know you before, but I just feel this like growth that radiates from you, and that's something that like so many people look up to. So like, please never stop. I'm so excited to see you grow, and I really just appreciate you even taking the time to like not only help other people, but like you help me in secret ways that you don't even know. So,
OMG queen.
yeah.
I could say the same about you for
Aw.
real.
I'm just a girl.
But now that we got started talking, I could talk for like 3 hours.
I know, right? I
Let's get
know.
started.
But I
I was
wanna
having a hard time get started.
it's
That's a
always
metaphor for the
that.
gym.
And it's
The
always
hard part
that.
is starting.
But I think that we should finish off by like, I want you to talk to the person that's listening that hasn't started yet, because that's the most difficult part. Like, what would you say to them? How would you guide them? And what's a reminder you think that you would have needed when you were just getting started?
How you perceive the world is made up of hundreds of thousands of little micro limiting beliefs that someone taught us. A client of mine said to me yesterday, "But Marina, I'm so impatient." And I told her, "Don't claim that." "No, but I've always been impatient. Ever since I was little, my parents would make jokes about how impatient I was." And that got me to thinking. I was like, so you're telling me that the first time someone told this person that she was impatient was when she was a child? Bitch, what child is impatient? Do you see what I mean? So we have these labels put on us. If you were a shy kid, suddenly you're shy and you claim that and you make that your truth and you take that with you in your life. And you're subconsciously, you don't realize it, but you start acting in your life and making decisions that align with that limiting belief that fills the story. And so I think my transformation, what helped me get started, was first of all hitting rock bottom. But when you hit rock bottom, nothing is making sense. Everything that you thought was up becomes down, and that's when you start questioning everything that you knew, everything that you thought you knew and about yourself. Um,
And
I
that's
grew
when you
up,
find your strength.
yeah, bro. I grew up. My nickname growing up was Little Fatty,
Oh my god.
gordinha, like
Mine was
gordita.
gordita.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gordinha, and my mom, she feels a lot of like
Like, bad.
guilt because she's like,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to give you an eating disorder. I'm like, that's not
Oh.
the point. The point is like, you carried limiting beliefs, you planted limiting beliefs inside of me intentionally or unintentionally. And then, but then we get to a point where we get to a certain age where we start looking around and we start realizing that we want more for ourselves. We need to start unlearning and relearning. So I think to the person out there who's thinking about starting, start questioning everything that comes out of your mouth and start speaking with more precision, because we cast
Mm.
spells over our lives with the words that we use to describe our human experience.
Yeah.
So don't claim the bullshit. You are not shy. You are someone who has historically struggled with shyness.
A
But
hundred percent.
you can do anything. For example, a limiting belief that I always had is I'm just not good at confrontation. And that held me back in my business. I'm historically someone who hasn't had the tools to have confrontations, but that's a skill that I can develop with time, even if it's uncomfortable. And that's how I feel about that.
I
You got
love
this.
that. And just, I love how you said speak with precision. Have intention for the things you're saying. Don't cast a spell on yourself. Don't claim things you don't want in your life. Act like the person you want to become because that's who you will be. The things that
Mm-hmm.
you say will come to life. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about like the woo woo shit, like the manifestation all the time. I mean, that's true also, but
Mm-hmm.
it's about what you're inviting in your life, what you're putting out there. And I love you, man. Like I have like this cuteness aggression for you because it's so nice to hear someone like actively practice this, and you are not just someone that says these words, you put it into your life, and that's something that is commendable and admirable and something I never want you to forget. And anyone who's listening that like thinks that's not for them, it absolutely is, because you're listening to two girls who didn't think they could and did it anyways.
See.
So I am so proud of you for like what you're doing. I'm so excited to see your shred coming up and your competition. If you guys want to connect deeper with me or Mariana, you can follow her at Strong Girl Mar on Instagram and become absolutely the best version of yourself. Because I know I have become better each and every moment I hear her speak. And
Queen.
for all of that,
Stop flirting with me.
I know I'm gonna fall in love. I actually fall in love when people are mean to me, not to be like weird, but
Limiting
me
belief.
like,
Limiting belief.
oh my god.
Yeah. And you see? And you see? It's
See, we're
tough.
not perfect.
That's what I'm
Clearly,
saying.
I can't talk about relationships because I'm working on that.
I have limiting beliefs all the time, but you get better at catching yourself in the bullshit. You're like,
Well, especially when you have someone that holds you accountable with those,
Mhm.
you know, because
My boyfriend calls me the fuck out. I'm
oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck, why are you right? Fuck.
Oh, I hate when you're right.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of us. I love you so much. And any closings, any little like words of wisdom, any
Muscle
kisses?
mommies rise up.
Muscle mommies rise because it's strong girl summer.
Love
I
you.
love you,
Bye.
girl.
Thanks for listening.
That was good.